Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTW BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling versus the WWE, where we take the weekly shows and weekly events that the WWE books, book them in Total Extreme Wrestling, and see just how well WWE does against TEW, or if TEW will be the one company who takes down WWE once and for all. This week we are booking I believe the April 30th edition of Monday Night Raw. I could be incorrect on the actual date, but whatever. I could always pull up the calendar gimmick, but who's going to do that? April 30th is what I'm going to stick with, though. Edition of Raw, pretty much last week's edition of Raw. Backlash was tonight. For those of you who kind of want a little bit more of, a context if you're watching more in the future. So, Backlash was tonight. I'm currently booking that as of now. And I haven't seen Backlash, so I don't know any of the thing or who won or anything. Not that it matters to me who won. If it got spoiled, I'm not excited for Backlash, so it doesn't really matter, like I said. But I have decided to just pretty much wait and watch Backlash until I book it, pretty much, just like I've been doing with these shows. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right into Monday Night Raw, which honestly I think will do pretty good. It was a pretty decent show. I wasn't too into the show altogether, but it's a decently booked show, I think. And I'm actually surprised that WWE was able to get the match criteria and angle criteria correct, because, my God, were there a lot of matches and they were long, but somehow we did it. This is just a pre show segment, nothing too special here. From the Greatest Royal Rumble, did indeed forget to put the Greatest Royal Rumble Championship. I guess we can't do that. So hold on. Let's do this real quick then. Let's do this real quick, just to fix it, because I did indeed forget to put the Greatest Royal Rumble Championship on Braun Strowman. So what we'll do is, and this isn't going to help the prestige out at all. This is probably going to make it some pretty bad prestige. But since Sean Daivari, aka the brother of Arya Daivari on 205 Live, is currently under contract for a one-night deal, since I was originally intending on using him in the Greatest Royal Rumble instead of the Great Khali, since he did sign. But I just, completely forgot about, him and put in somebody else. I think it was like Lars Sullivan or something. We'll put Sean Daivari in the match here tonight, and we'll make it a quick squash, 3 minutes. That way it equals 5, because, I don't know. Because I don't know. I like numbers that add up to things. I don't know. It's weird. I either like even numbers or fives. It's like the only two things I'll go with. Normally, when I'm booking, it's either an even number or it's a 5 minute something segment. So let's put that on the pre-show, and that'll give Braun Strowman the Greatest Royal Rumble title, even though it probably won't be the best rated match in the world. So let's jump right in, which D+, what a hell of a match. Terrible pre-show match. Strowman beats Sean Daivari with the reverse chokeslam. He is going to be in action later on tonight, too, so hopefully that doesn't wear him out. I doubt it will. It was 3 minutes. Either way, he wins the Greatest Royal Rumble title like he should have at the pay-per-view. D+ rating. Daivari is contract. He is out of here. We no longer have him, so hopefully WWE doesn't surprise me and start using him on like 205 Live or something. Strowman was good, I guess. He had a C+, where Daivari had an E-. Daivari, though, is improving in Rumble technical and performance, so good on him there. All right, this is the legit show. God, there's always one motherfucking person that I forget to take off screen. Whatever, doesn't matter. This is just the recap video from the Greatest Royal Rumble. I just kind of chose the most popular people, or kind of the big matches. So B- rating, pretty much recapping the Royal Rumble or Greatest Royal Rumble, which featured Cena, Triple H, who was supposed to be off screen, but I didn't. Again, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, AJ Styles, Nakamura, and Chris Jericho, because, well, he's popular. All right. I gotta remember to do this, by the way. This bothers me every time I book a show when I see just a plain C. I gotta get my Snopes grade thing back so I can have where it shows the grade, or the letter grade and the number grade, pretty much. Either way, we start off with a solid C rating as Roman Reigns makes his way down to the ring. We are in Canada, by the way, the Bell Center, or as this mod in TEW likes to say, the Center Bell. whatever. We're in Montreal, Canada, though, so Roman Reigns comes down. He's booed. He pretty much talks about the Brock Lesnar thing, where WWE straight up acknowledges that, yes, Roman Reigns should have won, but apparently, I guess, the referee, which I believe... Actually, I don't even remember who the damn referee was. I think it was Chad Patton. I don't remember. But either way, I think it was something about, like, he made an off-the-cuff call for, like, the protection of the athletes or something, and Kurt Angle stands by his decision or something. So pretty much Roman Reigns is calling himself the true Universal Champion, stuff like that. He's eventually interrupted by Jinder Mahal. By the way, he was cutting like his little promo on Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe at the same time. Jinder Mahal, though, interrupts him. Out comes the modern day Maharaja, who pretty much chorus of boos for him as well, despite being from legit Canada, but he's not built from Canada, so what can you do? But either way, he comes up to a chorus of boos. He pretty much challenges Roman Reigns, which leads to Sami Zayn's music going off, which he gets a huge pop. Like, holy shit, he gets a huge pop. He comes out, does the same thing, challenges Roman Reigns. Then Kevin Owens comes out. He gets a pretty huge pop, but I don't believe it was bigger than Sami Zayn's. Like, Sami Zayn's was huge. But Kevin Owens comes out, and then Owens challenges Roman Reigns. They do a little popularity contest, which Kevin Owens figures out he wins. He goes to pretty much step up to Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns clocks him one, and then we have a little bit of a brawl between Roman, Jinder, Sami, and Owens, all ganging up on Roman, which eventually leads to Bobby Lashley coming out, but he gets a little bit ganged up on as there's numbers against him. And then the monster among men himself, Braun Strowman, comes out to help as well. What? What do you mean other people weren't following a script? I kind of jumped the gun here, but I looked in the road agent report. I don't know why other people weren't following a script. I guess Sami Zayn? Maybe Jinder Mahal? That's weird. Either way, the segment ended with Braun Strowman and Lashley helping Roman Reigns chase off the Canadian team, even though Jinder Mahal is not booked from Canada. Apparently, someone went off script. Can we look at the booking details and figure out, like, what did I do? I don't remember letting someone go off script, but apparently someone did. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens both struggled because there weren't people following a script. Like I said, I don't remember doing that. Sami, Jinder, I'm looking at one of you two. You went behind my back. Apparently, Coach is pretty weak on the announce table. I did get the crowd hot. Braun Strowman was good, so the fans are hot for him. It lost heat for the Roman and Brock Lesnar storyline, which I don't know if that should end yet, but we'll see where it goes. Solid C rating to open up Raw, though. Not too bad. Nope, didn't click it. Then we jump to a D- rated segment, which is pretty much hyping up that Natalya, who will be accompanied by Ronda Rousey in her match, will take on Mickie James, who will be accompanied by Alexa Bliss later on tonight. This is going to ask me about Natalya. We are going to turn Natalya's gimmick tonight because I'm pretty certain that they are booking her as a face. I hope I don't have to, eat my own words or whatever, because if they have her turn on Ronda, I'm going to be pissed that this whole time I didn't do it. But they're not really teasing anything. Natty's just kind of booked straight up as a face, so we are going to book her, but we're going to book her a little later tonight. And it's kind of appropriate that it happens in Canada. We didn't see Elias backstage. Apparently, he drinks some herbal tea that he got from Saudi Arabia, some shit that helps him with his voice. And apparently, he'll be in action next against Bobby Roode. I hate how hard it is to click this damn thing. Is there a way to... Oh, there is a way to minimize this. Can I do that real quick? Nope, I guess not. Never mind, I thought there was. We then jump to another freestyle segment here, which gets a C- rating, pretty much hyping up the six-man tag team match we'll see later on tonight, which will pit Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, and Braun Strowman against Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Wow, this did horrible. E+ rating. Is Elias bad on, like, entertainment or something? I'm gonna have to look at that real quick. Okay, as you see, I still have to improve the stamina of Mustafa Ali and TJP. Also, I noticed that Ronda Rousey was a semi-pro, or not a semi-pro, but semi-active wrestler. I don't know if I'm spelling this right. Entertainment. There we go. And Elias, I want to check that. Also, you may be wondering about these two names right here. I'll get to that later when we get to it. Either way, horrible rating for Elias and Bobby Roode, as Elias does his live concert, which should do way better. I don't know why this did so bad. And Bobby Roode pretty much interrupts him like he did last week. Too bad I don't have the dirt sheet either. whatever. We jump into said matchup between Elias and Bobby Roode, which has a subpar wrestling and little heat to it. Elias defeats Bobby Roode in 14 minutes, 17 seconds by stoppage when apparently Bobby Roode was injured and he could not continue. So at one point in the match, like Elias, I think he pulls or pushes Bobby into like the turnbuckle area, and it looks like Bobby, even though he doesn't, it looks like Bobby like hits his neck on like the little metal pole that holds the turnbuckle and the pad together. I don't really know how to explain it, or if I'm doing it justice. Either way, though, he falls off and he's acting like he can't breathe. I don't believe it's a real injury, but it's enough to stop the match, giving Elias the victory. He even announces it himself. He says, "Your winner, Elias," pretty much. Either way, Graves and Coachman, good chemistry. I don't know if we knew that already. Elias with a D minus and Bobby Roode with a D plus. C minus rating match as we get more hype for our 6-man tag team match later on tonight. And then we jump to an E minus as Charlie Caruso is backstage interviewing Jean Paul and Francois, who are local talent from Canada, who will be facing the Authors of Pain soon. This is kind of in between the entrances, as they're getting a little bit of an interview. They just pretty much put over that they're countrymen, and tonight they're going to beat the AOP or whatever. Again, I know you guys were probably wondering why I had these two names here. Well, that is the name of the local talent that are playing Jean-Paul and Francois. I don't know if that's who played Jean-Paul and Francois. I couldn't find it online anywhere. Either way, though, Francois is played by a gentleman known as Eli 40, and Jean-Paul is played by H.C. Ryder. So this is Eli 40, and that is H.C. Ryder. We jump into the Author of the Pain match, which gets a solid E rating. Abysmal match. The AOP, Razor, and Akam go over Jean-Paul and Francois in 1 minute 43 seconds when Razor defeated Jean-Paul by submission. Did I do submission on accident? No, I didn't. Either way, it should have been by pinfall. Either way, it did bring the crowd down, but that's whatever. Both the Authors of Pain got an E plus rating. Francois, the worst of the match, got an E minus, and Jean-Paul with a solid E. And look at this, Francois and Jean-Paul making the best of their appearance here, as Francois is improving in Rumble and performance, as is Jean-Paul. Good on you guys. Don't know if you'll be coming back though anytime soon. E plus rating here as the Authors of Pain take the mic after and pretty much put the Raw Tag Team division on notice. I don't really remember exactly what they said, but I was surprised to hear them speak for the first time. Normally, we only ever hear them speak in a different language, but this time they are actually speaking English. So there you go. E plus rating for the AOP. Solid C as we get Monday Night Rollins next. I put a question mark there because I was like, what does that even mean? But Seth Rollins is coming out next. Solid C rating for him. But before we can get to that, we have hype for his match against The Miz at Backlash, which will be for the Intercontinental Championship. That also gets a solid C. And then we jump into a segment featuring Seth Rollins, Balor, and the Miztourage, which gets a solid D rating. Seth Rollins comes out. He gets a great ovation from the Canadian crowd. And he pretty much starts talking about how far he's traveled recently with the Intercontinental Championship, going from Orlando to like Saudi Arabia to like I think Sydney, Australia, or Canada, all sorts of stuff. Eventually, he is interrupted by Finn Balor, who Rollins mentioned in his promo that he would, he's going to be a fighting champion, and Balor puts him up to it and says, "Hey, put the title on the line tonight." And Rollins, despite facing Miz this Sunday, he leaves it up to the crowd, who pretty much say, "Yeah, do it." So we get a Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor match later on tonight for the Intercontinental Championship, apparently. I'm going to go ahead and confirm it, even though it wasn't confirmed right away right here. It does happen. It's the main event. And Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, still under the Miztourage name for some reason, they come out and they pretty much, say, forget the Balor Club, forget the Shield. It's time for, the 4 horsemen of the WWE. And they do this little hilarious thing where they kept going, huh? Balor and Seth talk about it, and they give him a hard no, which then leads to a brawl between the two. The 4. Balor and Rollins fight off Bo and Axel before Balor catches Rollins off guard and hits him with, I believe it's called the 1960 or 1940 or something like that, but instead of actually lifting him up and hitting him with it, he just drops him with an elbow. Either way, Rollins looked good. It lost heat for the Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor storyline, which it's kind of new and it's kind of not. This is the Intercontinental Championship storyline that we had before, and I figured, I'm not going to start a new storyline since these two are still kind of feuding, but it seems like that's the direction they're going in right now, as Seth Rollins and Finn Balor feuding. Also, you may see the handle changes here. That is because I believe that WWE has started teasing Finn Balor as a heel. Now, that might not mean anything. He might not become a heel, but I'm just saying I noticed a little bit of heel tendencies, not only in his promo here tonight against Seth Rollins, but I can kind of see a story where they're going, where Finn feels like Seth can't beat him. He's beaten Seth already, for the Universal Championship, and every time they really have fought, Seth has, either pinned someone like The Miz or it was a ladder match, stuff like that, even though I believe Seth has beaten Finn in the past, but that can kind of be the story they're telling, and Finn probably getting frustrated maybe about, Seth beating him finally and turning heel. I just feel that's kind of where they're going, and even in the match, they kind of, teased a little bit of Finn Balor heelism, I feel, because he was all like, you want to keep the title, you got to work for it, man, or something like that. So I do feel like Finn Balor is teasing it. Not saying it's going to happen, but I think it's best. C- rating as we get even more hype for our 6-man tag team match later on tonight. And then we get a solid E as we hype up the Tripping Worldwide segment that'll take place later on tonight between Titus O'Neil and someone else. I didn't feature them because they weren't featured, so just Titus O'Neil for now. Then we get an E+ rating, hyping up Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riott. That'll be next. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan were also featured, but they were not rated. No, not yet. But before we can get into the matchup, or this is kind of in between entrances as well. Ruby's already made her entrance. Sasha hasn't made her entrance yet. Charlie Caruso's backstage, and she pretty much asks Sasha, hey, Ruby's going to have the Riott Squad in her corner. Have you talked to Bayley? And then Sasha's like, well, Bayley and I really haven't talked, and she's not going to be in my corner, yada, yada, yada. And then she goes out for her match, pretty much. So there you have that. Nope, still not turning Sasha yet. I'll wait and see. We then jump to our matchup between Ruby Riott and Sasha Banks, which gets a solid D rating here. About that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Ruby Riott going over Sasha Banks in 14 minutes, 24 seconds with the Heidi Can Rana. She really won with the Riot kick. That's obviously an old move of hers when she was known as Heidi Lovelace. We also had, it was a distraction from Sarah Logan. So kind of towards the end, Sasha Banks had the Banks statement locked in. Logan distracted the referee, and then Liv Morgan broke it up. And then we have Banks dropping like the knees on both Ruby Riott and then Liv Morgan, which was awesome. But she goes to climb the turnbuckle. Sarah Logan distracts her long enough for Ruby Riott to gain her sense back or whatever and hit her with the Riot kick. While she was sitting on the top turnbuckle, Sasha Banks falls off. 1, 2, 3, Ruby Riott wins. Apparently, Ruby Riott was really off her game. Liv Morgan doing good work ringside as I set her as the manager to Ruby Riott. I figured all the Riott Squad members can represent each other in some sort of way. So I think it's like Ruby has Liv Morgan has Sarah Logan, and Sarah Logan has Ruby Riott or something like that. Ruby Riott with a solid E in-ring performance, and Sasha Banks with a solid D. And no. Solid E segment as we still hype up Titus Worldwide, or Tripping Worldwide, which is next. But before we can get that, we get our Moment of Bliss, Part 2, which gets a solid D rating here as Alexa Bliss cuts yet another brilliant done promo here on Nia Jax, where she pretty much plays off that Nia's the bully and not her, while still kind of throwing in some shots at Nia here and there. This time it was about Disney World, and it was actually hilarious. I laughed. It was really funny. Alexa Bliss pretty much talks about how Nia Jax, picked on her for not being able to ride any of the rides, pretty much. Always saying, is she tall enough to ride this one? Even the teacups. And then Alexa Bliss was like, it's just a cup that you sit in. Like, it was... And then she, at one point, she's like... And then she even said I had to order out the kiddie menu while she sat there with 2 turkey legs in hand. And it's just like, oh my god. It was well-timed. It was great stuff. I'm really enjoying these Alexa Bliss segments. But then again, Alexa Bliss is just great and entertainment value, so... That's her one strong suit, and it always has been, even when she was back in NXT. Solid D rating for that right there. This is our regular old commercial break segment. You might have noticed I featured John Cena on screen. Unlike the Triple H botch from earlier, John Cena was supposed to be on screen here. I figure for these pointless commercial break segments, I can feature John Cena on screen because I think it not only makes him happy because, hey, you're featuring me on TV, but it also helps the crowd out because since he is our figurehead, he draws in people. So when he's not here, he's not, drawing it. We have a lower attendance rate. Like I think it's like 9,000 with John Cena and then 10,000 something, as you see right here with Cena here. So just a pretty much pointless commercial break to fill in the last 15. I think it was 13 minutes, but me as the stickler, I had to do it 15 just to make it even. 15 minutes just to fill in the last bit of time we didn't have left. D plus rating as we get more hype for the Intercontinental Championship match this time between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor that'll take place tonight. No. Then we jump to a D minus rated segment here. What does it mean Titus O'Neil's not suited to his gimmick? I checked it. It says it is. He is. I don't get that, but whatever. Renee Young interviews Titus O'Neil about, the whole slide. Titus admits it, I straight up fell. He likes to have fun. He uses it as like a motivational thing until he's interrupted by Baron Corbin, who pretty much just calls him a joke and say, typical Baron Corbin, you shouldn't be paying attention to this guy. You should be paying attention to me before heading off for his upcoming match against No Way Jose. D minus rated segment. Titus O'Neil not suited to his gimmick. Don't know how. Maybe it's because it was just rated so poorly, but every time I check the damn thing, it says he's fine. So I don't know. That's weird. We jump to a solid C rating here as we get a bit of a recollection of the past between Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, which shows them in like numerous pictures from the past. Like one of them was like a hilarious picture of their heads like photoshopped over people in the George Washington boat. It was an entertaining segment, and then Bray Wyatt comes in. They're kind of playing off a light and darkness side here, which I'm not opposed to. I'm into it. I'm seeing where it's going. It's not the exact way I personally would have booked the Broken Angle, but I'm not booking WWE, and they didn't take my contract when I put it in there, so maybe they got something going on that I don't know. But you know what? It's interesting. The whole light and darkness. We'll see where it goes. I'm not gonna say I'm invested again, but my curiosity has been piqued. We'll see where this happens. It was a good promo, probably one of the best promos, done between the two of them. I don't know if Jeremy Borash has been working along with them in the past, but I feel like I can definitely tell now he is because there was a lot of like echoes, stuff like that happening during the promo. Gained heat for the Woken Bray Wyatt thing we got going on here though. Good rating for them as well. We jump back to a D minus rating though as we get a recap between what happened last week between Mickie James and Natalya and Ronda Rousey, pretty much showing Mickie James attacking Natalya while she was down and then going after Ronda, which led to Ronda pretty much locking her in the armbar and making her tap out. By the way, this Natalya turn is not going to go over good tonight. I already know that. I think we all know that, but it's what you got to do sometimes. C minus rating as we get more hype. The last hype for the 6-man tag team match, which is next. I hate when that happens. There we go. Don't you love when I lie to you? No, it is really next, though. Before we get to the match, though, Sunil Singh has to, introduce the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. All right. And then we jump into the 6-man tag team match, which went on for a long time, you guys. C+ rating here. Decent matchup. Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, and Roman Reigns go over Jinder Mahal, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. And 24 minutes, 25 seconds after Braun Strowman defeats Kevin Owens with the reverse choke slam. I don't believe he hit that. I believe he hit the running power slam to win the match. During the match, we also had Sunil Singh distract Roman Reigns, but didn't really do anything, or good for him, I should say. Sunil Singh did some good work ringside. Kevin Owens with a C+. Sami Zayn with a C+. Jinder Mahal with a D+, the worst of the match, tied with Bobby Lashley. So both Bobby and Jinder with D+ ratings. And everybody else with C+ ratings. So Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman, all C+. So there you have that. Then we jump to a solid D-rated segment here as more hype for the Intercontinental Championship match between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Also, No Way Jose versus Baron Corbin is next. No. Solid E rating here. Baron Corbin, probably going to have to check his entertainment as well. Because that's embarrassing. He's a lot better on the mic if you ask me that. But then again, I don't know. Does microphone and entertainment skills have anything to do with popularity? It might. I don't know. But either way, solid E rating here for Baron Corbin. Good God. Baron Corbin comes out. He cuts a little bit of a pre-match promo. talking about how fools don't go anywhere, pretty much referencing both No Way Jose and Titus O'Neil in the promo. Even mentions them both by name. We then get a recap from last week on Corbin's attack against No Way Jose, which gets a D-. Nope, didn't press it. There we go. And then we jump into the match, which does horrible. E+ rating matchup here, and about that had little heat and embarrassing wrestling. No Way Jose goes over Baron Corbin in 4 minutes, 37 seconds after distraction from Titus O'Neil. There was also distraction from Dana Brooke and Apollo Crews. I don't know why it didn't put that there. I guess because I didn't put it in there. I don't believe you. I remember specifically putting it in there, so I think you took it out, TEW. No Jose is getting better as a gimmick, so I guess that's good, but here's probably one of the worst things about this match that made it horrible. Baron Corbin and No Way Jose don't click, and it made for an awkward bout, so that sucks. But just like the Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns thing, if they fight again, we're just going to have to deal with it. Did cool the crowd. Titus O'Neil's not suited to his gimmick. Baron Corbin with a solid D-rated performance, and No Way Jose with an E-. You'll notice that I put the feud as No Way Jose or Titus O'Neil because I'm not really sure where they're going with this. It seems like they're doing Titus O'Neil, but with this, I mean, who knows? Maybe No Way Jose is going to join Titus Worldwide. The match itself was nothing special. Corbin really dominated most of the matchup until Titus O'Neil finally came out. They did some hilarious parts for Titus, teased like he was going to run down before Apollo Crews wiped it down, and then Dana Brooke helped him walk over it so he doesn't trip. But then he gets up on the apron and trips anyway, most likely on purpose, which leads to No Way Jose rolling him up. 1, 2, 3. No Way Jose gets the surprise victory over Baron Corbin. And he's improving in Rumble. Solid D rating as we hype up the fact that Natalya versus Mickie James is next. And just because the match is going to be, next, I am going to complete her turn now. Oh my god, what? Complete success? How? How, Jim? How? I don't know how. Is 5 segments enough? I didn't think 5 segments was enough. Maybe it's just because we're in Canada and they're like, yeah, totally. Natalya's turn went over great. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, so Natalya goes in as a face just like I wanted. This was what I planned, having her go in as a face here. E+ rated segment here as we have a terrible matchup. Natalya goes over Mickie James in 2 minutes, 43 seconds after distraction from Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss. Just want to say that. And Alexa Bliss. Again, did you take it out? No, it even says it. All right, whatever. Pretty much the finish happened here. This match was nothing special. I believe Mickie dominated most of the match. The finish happened when Alexa Bliss distracted Natalya, which then led to Ronda Rousey getting involved. Mickie was distracted by Ronda chasing Alexa, and then Natalya got to pretty much the surprise pinfall. 1, 2, 3, Natty wins. Bliss did some good work ringside. Mickie James is getting better at her gimmick. Natalya, not suited to her gimmick. Well, she just had a face turn, so duh. We probably should have changed her gimmick while we're at it, so we'll just do that next week. That's fine. Luckily, there's no gimmick things. Ronda Rousey did some good work ringside, but here's the unfortunate thing. Natalya and Ronda Rousey, at least as a manager duo, are a very poor combination, and they don't click at all. It's not a permanent thing. At least I hope it's not a permanent thing, but because it's going to suck for them. But Ronda Rousey was advertised to be at her side. She was at her side, so I have to do it. So, again, just like No Way Jose. And Baron Corbin, just like Lesnar and Roman Reigns, if Rousey finds herself in Natalya's corner again, she has to be there pretty much. But that doesn't mean Natalya has bad chemistry when managing Ronda, so maybe that's good. Did cool the crowd. Mickie James with a D- in-ring performance. Natalya with a solid D. And there you have it. Oh, it started the storyline segment between Ronda and Mickie, because I'm pretty sure that's where they're going now. All right, so we jump to a solid D rating here as we had just quick little freestyle segment. Alexa Bliss was still running from Ronda Rousey. She then hears the music of Nia Jax go off, which out comes the women's champion. Bliss cowers through the crowd and runs away, while Nia Jax enters the ring, and it looks like she kind of has a little bit of a stare down between both Ronda Rousey and Natalya for a second, before raising both their hands, and they just kind of celebrate in the ring with each other. Solid D rating for that. Ronda Rousey getting better at her gimmick, and we already know about Natalya. That will change next time. It gained heat for the feud, too. Good job. D+ rating segment here as we hype up some Backlash matches featuring the Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss match, Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and Carmella versus Charlotte Flair. And then we have our little bit of a part 2 to the Backlash hype, this time getting a C- as we get hype for the Braun Strowman and Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match, which was hyped, or not hyped, but announced now. And then the Rollins versus Miz at Backlash, which could be Rollins versus Balor, because coming up next is the Intercontinental Championship between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. No. Before we can get to the match, though, we have a D+ segment as Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler cut a little selfie promo, or whatever you want to call it. Pretty much, stating what they've been stating the past couple of weeks, how they feel a lot of the people on the WWE roster are just happy to be here, and how they have the authority behind their words because what they say is true or whatever. Pretty much kind of what Drew was doing over in TNA, I feel, where when he first went over there, he was talking about how complacent people were and how he's here to be a wrestler again or something, That's kind of where I feel like they're going with Drew and Dolph right now. C- rating as we get a recap of what happened between Balor and Rollins earlier tonight, which also featured Axel and Bo Dallas. I don't think I have to tell you guys what happened. And then finally, we get our main event of the night, which says a C-. Really? A C- rating. Wow. I was hoping for at least a solid C for you guys. I mean, come on. You got a C and a C+, but what can you do? I guess that's what you get. Decent matchup here in the main event. Seth Rollins goes over Finn Balor in 17 minutes, 26 seconds with the ripcord knee. Not true. He hit the curb stomp. Either way, he makes his second defense of the Intercontinental Championship. Finn Balor with a in-ring performance of a solid C, while Seth Rollins had a C+. No worker improvements. We end off the show. Did I press the button? I did. We end off the show to get a C+ rating. I think that's our best rating for a show so far. So, best show, I believe. Still not enough storylines, and it still lost us popularity in 23 regions. But WWE's growing, I guess. Maybe not growing's the right word, because we are losing popularity, but the stars are growing. So that's something. One thing I got to remember to do, though, because we are still going to be getting the whole negative things on how, TV shows, and eventually they're going to drop us. So I have to, drop USA Network and all that to pretty much, low or whatever, so they don't drop us. But, still, it's a decent show. Not too bad. Like I said, I felt like it was a well-booked show, so I felt like, TEW would have been kind to it. Still, the storyline problem is not helping right now, but that's also, part of the problem that there's not really people over either. So it'll be interesting to see where this all goes, but I don't know. Right now, it's like the main storyline on Raw is Seth Rollins and Balor, it feels like, because Brock Lesnar's never there. And that, who's Roman Reigns feuding with if Brock Lesnar's never there? Samoa Joe? Samoa Joe's on SmackDown. So it's an interesting, feeling right now of what's going on, but we'll see where it goes. I mean, like I said, I even starting this series, I didn't think WWE was going to do all that great in the first place, but I do think over time they'll start building themselves up and maybe start doing better, to maybe where they're not losing popularity all the time. I was expecting more problems with the angles and matches, honestly. That's what I was expecting more of, but so far, nothing. Either way, though, I'm just rambling right now, trying to get through this loading screen. In fact, right when I say that, it goes ahead and does it. We have a decision. I wonder what that means. Yeah, look at that. People enjoyed the show. What is this? News that apparently ICWEU is quitting the European Wrestling Alliance. Yeah. So everyone's unhappy. Jinder Mahal says Akam can't sell anything worth a damn, in my opinion. The kid needs to learn how to work. Thanks for your opinion, Jinder. So I'll probably end up lowering USA and Sky Sports to low requirements or whatever, just to get them off my ass. Oh my God. No, I don't need you. See ya. You want to come now. Kali. You're too little too late. Too little too late, Kali. You were supposed to be here at the Greatest Royal Rumble, which, by the way, I pushed back all the way to freaking Sunday for you, so it wasn't on a Friday. because I was like, all right, you know what? Hopefully Kali will sign, and you never did, and now you chose to sign after Raw. Get the fuck out of here. Either way, guys, my name's been OMGWTF, LOL FTWBRB. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, don't forget to share this video with your friends, Facebook, Twitter, Instagrams. I don't give a damns. Any social media out there, and anybody you feel that will enjoy my content, give it a share, show them what it's like, and bring someone new to the family, you know? Helps out the channel, and it's greatly appreciated. As always, I have a Patreon account. If you want to check it out, you're more than welcome to. It's not required. If you want to help the channel out, go ahead and check it out. You can search me up on Patreon at OMGWTF simple name. Or I might have it linked in. I don't believe I do, though. And what is linked in, though, down below in my description box, I have all my associates from like Raging Yoshi to Zach to my buddy Brandon, Senor Conqueso. Check all of them out. Give a look at them. Maybe you'll find someone you like. It's greatly appreciated. And kind of want to help build a community along with my friends here as well. So maybe give them a look at as well. Either way, though, that's going to be the end of this. Next time I'll see you guys will be for 205 Live and SmackDown, which I'll try to get those up as soon as I can. And that's it. See you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.